me dock because I've got a bunch of minerals on my little rover, and I got to dump those first, and I got to dump them, get turned around, find my ship, get lined up, get up underneath it, get the lights turned on the way to come on the way they are that allow me to dock and then dock. And I don't think I get it done in game. It
I don't
takes like
think so.
15 or 18 seconds, I think. If you get down to like 25 seconds and you're not lined up or anything else, you can quit the game and get all the way out and then log all the way back in, and you'll come back in right where you stopped when you quit it, and you've got another 59 seconds to get done. So I might have to. I'm going to read that to make sure if that's correct, and then I'll have to do it a couple times. One guy said it took him 2 hours doing it that way to get docked again, get back in his ship to where he could get air. That's a long time logging in and logging out.
Right. But if it works,
Yeah, as long as it works, I don't mind. I'm not that far from my ship. I just got to figure out where I'm at. I'll get turned around, figure out where the ship is, get lined up for the cargo bay, and start driving towards it. And then I'll hit exit, quit the game at 30 seconds, and then I'll wait a little bit, get right back into it, figure out where I'm at, and start moving again and see if I can't get in that way. And just for shits and giggles, I will dump my load once I'm lined up with the ship and I log back in. I'll do the part on dumping all my minerals out of my rover. So when I actually get up under the ship, it should all work. Get ready to go back into it now to see if I get my 59 seconds back.
I tell you what, it's a lot of hassle, but if it works,
Yeah, because I'd like to stay where I'm at. This planet took me a long time to get here because it's out in the middle of nowhere because it has the really super rare minerals I need. I got to have certain minerals. I got to have a certain amount. Then you go find these people that are good at upgrading stuff, and they're usually hidden, and you don't know where they're at until you get so far in the game and you do certain things. Then a notice will pop up that they'll let you know where they're hiding on what planet and how to get to them. And then you
right,
go there and you got to have a certain amount of stuff for them, whatever their list is. And then you go there and
right,
they upgrade something like your engines or your weapons or your shields or life support or whatever. You can buy, better life support, better shields, better weapons, but you gotta you got to match that to the capability of your ship. If you don't have enough electrical power in your ship, and
right,
you put all these heavy laser weapons and stuff on there, well, you're not going to go nowhere. You're gonna launch from the space station you're on. You're going to go out there, and nothing will work. Every time you hit a button, it's going to go into shutdown, and you have to wait for it to power back up, and then you got to call for rescue and get towed back in, and it's kind of embarrassing. I did that. I had too much. I was taking up too much power, and as soon as I launched out of the space station, I tried to uh, speed up my and to speed up and start cruising away. It would just cut out and die, and I was losing life support, everything else. It sucked. I took too long entering the entrance to a space station, and their automatic weapons killed me and destroyed my ship and me. I thought I was going just fine, lining it up, going in, but I got right in the opening, and I guess I took too long, and they just killed me. I mean, there's no warning. The light comes on, and then you're dead.
Sounds like I wouldn't have been going to that space. It wasn't friendly.
No, they're all that way. And if you go in, there's different landing pads. So when you come up to the space station, you got to ask for permission to dock, and then you wait for them. Sometimes it's a real small one, and they only have like 3 docking pads or 2, and you got to wait in line until it's your turn. And then when you dock, like in a big space station, you go fly in it, and then you're inside the middle of it. All around the sides of it, there's landing pads. If you go to land on the wrong landing pad, they'll shoot you and kill you.
What?
Yeah,
I know,
you
right?
don't get lost. Pay attention to what it's right in front of you on your heads-up display. It tells you what one you're supposed to go to, and if you go to the wrong one, you get killed. Trust me, I know that from experience. Unfortunately,
No, I know. It just sounds all funny.
it is piss you off at the time though. Like, what the hell? What happened to my ship? What blew up? Then when you're in the space station after that, and it's asking you what you want to do about your ship, they'll give you a fine. You have to pay that. That's where you find out what you did wrong. I was flying along in one sector and I got into some alien area and this motherfucker came out of nowhere. I mean, no notice. My display lit up red that there was a warning and I was dead. I mean, he killed me instantly. I didn't even know he was around. Never saw him. So when I got back to the space station and had to buy my ship all over again, pay the 5% or whatever, I've got a report that finally told me what I'd done. But I see I'd been out exploring, and as you explore, if these planets haven't been mapped or something, you can map it. You can map the universe first, that you jump into. Then you can map the different planets. Well, that's stored on your computer in your ship. Well, then when you get back, as long as you're not in that same galaxy that you mapped, if you go to a different galaxy, they'll buy that information from you. The same galaxy you're in won't buy that information because they already know it because they're there. But you can make a lot of money doing that on exploration. And I went out on a exploration deal that was, I was on here for hours, 6, 7, 8 hours, traveling all over the place, doing all this stuff. They're called explorer trails or something like that. I'm almost to the end, and that sucker jumped out of nowhere and killed me. So all that data I had accumulated was gone. It doesn't save.
Oh no!
Oh no, yes, man. 6, 7, 8 hours sitting here doing that over the weekend, man. Just fucking sucked.
Well, so why'd the guy actually hit your ship?
It's just I went into an alien territory, and there's some stuff out there. There's a guy on here. There's people that do this. This game is built off of our solar system, our the Milky Way and all that. And as they find more stuff, like NASA and all those people, the researchers find more stuff. This game adds it to it.
Right.
Like the Hubble telescope found all that stuff. They added it. So there was one guy that went out for a year. And never docked, never did nothing. He went exploring and he went way out in the middle of nowhere. So as you explore that stuff, your name goes on it. So when people come in and they look at the stats and stuff, your name's on there. You found it, or you're the first one to map this world. There's the people that find it, and then there's the person that maps it. Because you can. It's called discovery. When you jump into a galaxy, you hit these buttons on your deal, and it sends out these big pulses, and you discover what's in that galaxy for the different planets and stuff and moons, and then it comes back and it shows you all that stuff, and you get, if nobody had done it before, then you get credit for that. You discovered them. And then if somebody comes along behind you and actually maps the world, then they get credit for mapping that world. You got credit for discovering it, but they get credit for mapping it.
Right.
And hell, some of these things you find new stuff and they name them after you. They do all kinds of stuff. But it's a neat game. It is built off of our solar system, our universe. And as they find more out there, NASA and everybody else, all the scientists, they'll add it to the game.
Already did you pay the guy back for killing your boat?
No, he's an alien. My ships are not set up for fighting. Mine were set up for exploring.
Right.
I mean, it has some basic weapons, but this guy, it was instantaneous. Like one shot and I was dead.
Already say if your ship would have been set up for fighting, and then you would have been exploring.
You can do that. At the time, I was a newbie, so I had the little ship, so there's not enough weapons on that to do really anything to anybody.
Right.
Unless it's another newbie, and you have to have a little bit better weapons, and you can catch them by surprise. You can kill them. But yeah, he had a ship like nothing I'd ever seen before. I got the readout when I got back to the station. Had to get my new ship and stuff. But I've got, I think, 5 or 6 ships, and I've got a fairly decent one. I don't really have fighters yet because I'm not into the fighting. I'm not that good at piloting and flying and doing all that at once because you use a lot of keys on the keyboard. It's ridiculous. But once you get used to it and stuff, it's just, doing it over and over and over, and it gets easier.
Right, but I'm still saying, I mean, since you was this a newbie, and you was just flying around on there, wasn't attacking anything, you wouldn't have thought he would have bothered you.
I flew into the wrong area. Is what I got into the forums, and they said, yeah, if you go into the wrong area, and the aliens, they don't like it. They'll get rid of you in a heartbeat.
So when you do that, Ron, is it automatic? I mean, is it all automatic? It's not like, well, you know what, you could have killed him if you had. I mean, if you could have, because it's automatic. It's not.
No, you got to fight him. You got to drive. You got to fire. You got to do all that stuff.
Oh, so you could have killed it had you had.
Had I had a better ship and I knew how to drive and fight, yes, I could have put up a fight. And if I had a better ship with a lot better, not armor, but shields, a lot better shields and stuff, I would have taken him longer to kill me. But I was on a little dinky newbie ship, and there's hardly any shields or anything on it. You bump into rocks, and you're in trouble. Well, and you do mining, so you get up close to these asteroids and you mine them. Well, you get too close and you come in too hot to mine it. You bump into them, you can kill yourself pretty easily on them little ships.
No, I was just wondering if that was an automatic thing, not like, oh well, you know, some have aliens on them, some don't. But the ones that have aliens on them, if they spot you, you're automatically dead, and you can't help you.
No, you can, if you've got the ship and if you're a good driver, even in a little one, if I would have had warning, but it was just, I mean, I jumped into the system, and when you jump from sun to sun. So as soon as you come out, you've got to turn because you're headed right into a sun, and you get too close to the gravity well, then it'll suck you in and you start to overheat, and you'll eventually blow up. So you start turning right away and hitting the power, giving it throttle, and get out from the edge. And a lot of these, you'll have a fuel scoop on your ship, so you fly within a certain distance of the planet and at certain speeds, and the fuel scoop will automatically deploy, and you fill up your fuel tanks when you go by these suns. I came into one that was like a black hole. I flew in, wasn't paying attention. I was looking at my phone or something, and I looked up and I was dead. I flew right into it. I couldn't get away. Yeah, I've lost a lot of ships, but it's, that's the good thing about the insurance. As long as you don't do it right at the very beginning and you get some credits built up, because like I said, it's like 5% is what you have to pay total cost of your ship.
Right, but just if you do it right at the beginning.
Yeah, well, they have a bank. You can get a loan, so you're not totally out. Map at the universe, there's different layers to it.
So what's the name of it again?
Elite Dangerous.
Oh yeah, that's the game Price used to play.
I heard they've sold it. I haven't been in it for months, 5 months or so. Yeah, I'd say 4 or 5 months. I've heard they sold it, and they pissed off a lot of the big players that have been there. But I don't know. I haven't been in it. I'm going to get in here and start playing it a little bit more, and then get into the forums and start reading about it.
Yeah, because Price used to play it. Will used to play it.
If you run out of gas, there's the old folks, fogies, that they run gas service. You send out a deal, and then you have to sit there and wait. They eventually come out, and they give you gas and get you on your way. There's all kinds of stuff. I mean, like I said, you can be a pirate. You just go out and kill people, and they'll put bounties on your head, and I mean, everybody will come after you.
Right.
and you can fight all you want. You can create your own alliance, and you guys can do. There's a planet that has a old um, station on it that got blown up, and there's parts all over there. So you go down there, you land, you drive your rover around, and you put your little scoop down, and you collect those parts. And you need those parts when you go to these specialists to upgrade your shit. You get those parts, and you just keep storing them and storing them. But I went to go to it, and there was two groups of ships surrounding this planet, and they were fighting each other, and they wouldn't let nobody go down onto the planet. And I was just headed there. I saw a bunch of ships. I wasn't paying attention. And finally I looked, I was getting a message, and another guy said, "Hey, you might want to stay away. We're kind of having a war here between each other, and anybody that comes in gets killed. If you're not with one of the groups, you're dead." Ooh, thanks for the warning. I appreciate that. I'm into my little ship, just tootling along.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to go right between them, both groups, and go right down to the planet. There's like 200 ships there. I thought maybe they're just having a meeting or something, but no, they were having a war.
Right. All right. Are you excited to go find another planet?
Oh yeah, I told them thanks. I appreciate it because I just had to redo that ship too. That's why I was out going to get those parts. I needed parts, and I'd already died once. And yeah, I was going back. There they were.
What did they say to you when you told them that?
Oh, nothing. He was real nice. The one guy that messaged me, he goes, you don't know what's going on. You probably want to leave. There's a war going on here. You fly in here, we're going to kill you, both sides. Oh, thanks. Appreciate that.
Yeah. All right. I'm thinking stage right.
Yeah, so there's like mines, asteroids you can go mine, space diamonds. I forgot all the different stuff you can mine. There's all kinds of stuff you can mine. Some stuff's
Right.
worth more than others, and some stuff you can. There's certain planets and asteroid belts that are in certain galaxies, and you mine this like the cold or whatever the diamonds are called. I forgot what they're called. But since you're there, they get a lot of people that mine them and bring them right to the station, so the price is low because they have a bunch of it. So you can get on a map and it'll tell you who has the highest price, the highest demand for those diamonds. So then you fly over there and you sell your diamonds there. And sometimes that's an hour and a half trip to go sell them, but the price is so much worth it that it's better to go.
Right.
I've gone back to my home station, space station that I claim as home, and parked overnight in there in my bay, and then left the next day. As soon as I went out of the bay, and I was getting scanned constantly. As soon as I left the space station, so as soon as I got out to a certain point, it's like a no-wake zone. Then you just start gunning it. You already have your jump point in, and you get it lined up. It's out there. You got to find it on your radar. You line up at this point, and then when you hit a certain speed, it automatically jumps you to that galaxy you programmed in.
Right. Especially when someone's trying to attack you. You said, all right. People said, I got vroom vroom.
Yeah, so when you're flying around, you fly into a galaxy and you're going to the planet, or I go to generally to the stations that are in orbit around a planet. There are stations on the planet, but I just learned how to start landing on planets. Just the planet itself, I've landed at one station on the planet, and I need more practice with that, but I just go to the regular ones that are in orbit. So when you're looking at your map, when you jump into the galaxy, you immediately start looking for red triangles because those are hostiles. Then there's the green ones, and those are people that are playing police. You know, they're not always police, but there's guys that are out there that want to kill the bad guys, so they'll play police. You watch that, and you can have contraband. There's certain stuff that's illegal in certain areas, and if you bring it in and the police scan your ship, they're going to pretty much kill you on the spot. You know, so there's a lot of stuff to keep going and think about and watch. I went somewhere, I was doing I was getting it for credit. I delivered some stuff and took some stuff and delivered it to another station and got some stuff there and brought it back because you get paid for going one way. So when you get there, you look to see if they have anything going back the way you came so you don't deadhead it back. And Uh, when I got back, I got fined because I had contraband on my ship. They gave me, I picked up like 3 different loads, 3 different contracts, and I didn't pay attention, but where I was going back to where I came from, one of those contracts was, that stuff's considered contraband. I didn't get killed for it, but I got a hefty fine and they confiscated it. So then I got in trouble and I lost status, is what I'd say. As you do jobs for these different stations and galaxies, you gain status and rank and stuff, and I lost some at the one I was in, my main one, because I brought in contraband. And the ones that who gave it to me, that I got it from, I was supposed to deliver for them, I lost status with them.
Right.
So there's a lot of different things. There's all kinds of stuff you can do in this game. It's a lot. I mean, it's a bunch.
All right. You said they're going to try to race you for contraband. I mean, are you allowed to fight them and they should take them out?
If you want to, but there's usually more than one. If you in the good sectors, it'll tell you too when you're looking on your map, when you're trying to jump somewhere, you're looking for a place to jump. It'll tell you the security there, whether it's high, medium, or low. If it's a high secure place, that means there's a lot of the cops there, and if you jump in and you try to fight one of them because you've got something, then you better be prepared to fight. You better be good. You better have the equipment to back it up and the skills to fight them, because it's not usually, it's some of the smaller areas you only have 1 or 2 guys, but some of them other areas there's 10, 15 cops in there.
Right.
So
well, I guess what I'm asking, I mean, what
you can
happened?
fight anybody you want. Then they'll put a bounty on you or kill you, and then you'll pay fines anyways.
Right. But I'm just saying that somehow or another you was a good enough driver, you was able to outdrive them and kill them off. So they're gonna put. All right. So then they're gonna put a bounty on your head.
Yep, they will. And the bounty's out there, and the people will only take it if they think they can take you, and they know where you're at and stuff. Then they'll come after you. They'll take the contract for you, the bounty against you, and go get you. So there's a part when you're learning. If you play the game, go through all the tutorials. It seems like it's boring and shit, and I skipped a bunch of it, and I skipped like how to drive my rover. I didn't even know how to launch it out of my ship, so I had to go back, and I had to leave my ship out in orbit, and then go back and go through some tutorials. So best thing is to just suck it up and go through all the tutorials, and if you have to, do it several times. And like the fighting one, that one's kind of important, because you need to learn how to defend yourself and do things, and if you don't know nothing, you just die out of the blue.
Right.
And if they're way better than you, you're going to die anyways. But there's a section in there where they teach you how to fight a little bit. So you go to these certain areas just outside the space station, and there's in the bigger ones, and there's cops out there, and they're hunting and getting people that have bounties on them. So it shows you how to do it with a small ship. They've got all the big fighters and fancy ships and heavy duty. So you wait around, and when they finally get them down to a certain percentage, then you swoop in and shoot them from the side or from behind, and you start gaining experience and getting good credits for doing damage and stuff, and really good credits if you can get the kill shot. So you let them do all the work, and then you swoop in and get your little bit and stay safe. Kind of stay behind it, but within range where you get shots off, and they are usually shooting at the police and not you. So they have things, and like I said, if you decide to do it, then do all the tutorials. They're boring as shit, some of them, but do them. And if you don't get it, do it a couple times. The thing about this is you got to set up your own keys on how you want them to work and everything else.
All right. When you first start up the game, I mean, what are you supposed to do at the beginning?
No, it's been a year ago since I first started it. It comes up to a screen like mine's up now. I went ahead and got the Horizons package over the regular Elite